Let's see how we can cross-join two arrays in Google Sheets. We have the cross-join two arrays Google Sheet open, and it has the data template we require. In column A, we have the student name. There are 5 students, A, B, C, D and E. In column C, we have the subject. There are 3 subjects, English, Science, and Mathematics. In column E and F, we want the student name, and the subject respectively, in such a way that for each student name, we have 3 subjects. That is, for student name, A, we get the subject as English. For student name, A, we get the subject as Science. For student name, A, we get the subject as Mathematics. Then for student name B we get the subject as English. For student name B, we get the subject as Science. For student name B, we get the subject as Mathematics, and so on. So in order to do that, first we will try to get some data like A, English, A, Science, A, Mathematics, B, English, B, Science, B, Mathematics, and so on. For that, instead of writing it here, we will try it out here first. So we will write equal to transpose the subject array. That is, C2 to C4. So instead of all 3 subjects in 1 column and 3 rows, we will get all 3 subjects in 1 row and 3 columns. We will get English, Science, Mathematics. Now, we want this data to be like A, English, A, Science, A, Mathematics, B, English, B, Science, B, Mathematics. So for that, we can select this A2 to A6 range, and if we write an ampersand, it will concatenate this data with the transposed data. Since we want a comma in between, we will write in quotes comma. We have to again join this with the transposed data, so again, we will write an ampersand. Now since both of these are arrays, we will have to use an array formula over this. We get the data as A, English, A, Science, A, Mathematics, B, English, B, Science, B, Mathematics, C, English, C, Science, C, Mathematics, D, English, D, Science, D, Mathematics, E, English, E, Science, E, Mathematics. Next we want all this data to be in 1 column. We know that the flatten function will give this whole array in 1 column. So, we will use the flatten function. We see that we get the whole data in 1 column. We get the data as A, English, A, Science, A, Mathematics, B, English, B, Science, B, Mathematics, C, English, C, Science, C, Mathematics, D, English, D, Science, D, Mathematics, E, English, E, Science, E, Mathematics. If we split this data with comma as the delimiter, we will get the student name in 1 column. And the subject name in the other column. Let's try and do that. We will use the split function over this formula. The text is this formula, and the delimiter will be in quotes comma. Now, since this whole thing is an array, we will have to use an array formula over this. We see that we get the student names in 1 column, and we get the subjects in the other column. We will copy this formula and paste it in cell E2. Let's delete the formula from here. We see that for student named A, we get the subject as English, Science, Mathematics. For student named B, we get the subject as English, Science and Mathematics. For student named C, we get the subjects as English, Science, Mathematics. For student named D, we get the subject as English, Science, Mathematics. For student named E, we get the subject as English, Science, Mathematics. With this, we have successfully learned how to cross-join two arrays in Google Sheets. Thank you for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe if this video was useful.